We finally got some gameplay footage for Falling Frontier. Hello again there, friends and fans. Raptor here, and welcome to our first look at a gameplay mission and also some of the scenario creator for this game. Coming soon, Q2 2022, from the developer Stutter Fox Studios and the publisher Hooded Horse. As it says on Steam, conquer a vast procedurally generated star system in Falling Frontier, a sci-fi RTS where intel and logistics are decisive factors. Design ships and raid enemy supply lines and lay minefields, construct recon stations and ambush enemy forces within asteroid fields and nebulae. Now that's interesting because it makes me think that, okay, this should be like an open, combat type thing, but we're kind of hiding from the enemy here. All of our ships and such, our faction is quite weak, and so it's like we're kind of being more stealthy, doing all the mining and such. And it looks beautiful and makes for a more interesting concept of a more close combat simulator. Obviously, space combat as we picture it sometimes can be all 3D and as space would be, but this kind of makes it more of a easier to digest 2D visual at the combat. It looks great. It looks like a dusty, dirty, like a desert rather than just space, doesn't it? All the buildings here look great, the sounds are cool, and in just a little bit we'll add some music and some background to this mission and kind of take it all in as the narrator will take the lead into some things going on screen. And again, later we'll take a look at our scenario creator too. And I'm very excited to see this game when it releases next year, as of course it'll be a single player experience to start with. Possibly could get multiplayer in the future or whatnot, but this is one of those scenarios where the developer is a bit smaller, and so they want to put all their time and focus into making something that looks really well polished. All sorts of different radio traffic and chatter going on, all sorts of different lighting from, obviously the station that's smelting all the ore of different types of materials around. Things like rare metals and different types of things used to build starships, which is pretty cool. And this game also is an E3 award winner for just being, I guess, best in show of some sort of upcoming hype. I'm not exactly sure, but hey, it's got some backing and a lot of people are interested in it, and I think this looks great. And I'm excited to see more giant ships flying around that are more logistical than just for war. So obviously we'll be building those types of ships too for war, but it's cool to actually be able to have to make them by gathering all the materials too. Far too often it's just like mine asteroid, make ship, but hopefully this is a little bit more complex. And we're seeing here maybe a navigation mode as to asteroids that might be in our way for this current ship here. Maybe a flagship of the mission. Now, I don't know exactly what the missions will entail for their briefings, but I hope there's some sort of a very deep situational look at everything. And the map for this game looks incredible too. Line of sight based scanning for when you're in one universe or next to one planet before you go to another, so you can work within the star systems. In other words, you could be on planet A and then try to make a jump to planet B, and you can also have a space station that rotates around a planet and then scan for other ships that are around before you jump to kind of like keep an eye out before you get attacked, or to attack the enemy. Maybe launch an ambush or something. But there seems to be a lot of great polish to this game, not only in the campaign view itself, but also in a lot of the features that we have access to, like for example the scanning mode that I mentioned earlier. And there's some other footage on the channel too, so if you're not convinced or if you want to see more, if this is your first time seeing this game, jump back onto the channel to find more of Falling Frontier, where we go a little bit more in depth of some of the game footage that we were sent by the developers too, of building an initial station and kind of spreading out a little bit and taking a look at what's around us, even earlier stages. So hopefully there's a skirmish mode, and hopefully there's more into the campaign mode. And obviously with the scenario editor we can make all sorts of different scenarios, and so hopefully that leads us to not only create just singular missions, but maybe our own campaigns too with our own fictional forces. So about the game, it says Falling Frontier is a revolutionary sci-fi RTS where ship design, recon, logistics are critical elements. Your expeditionary force has just completed construction of its first spaceport in orbit of a new world, but you're not alone. Rivals from old colonial wars between Earth, Titan, and Venus, and other lineages that divide humankind have also arrived for the same star system. So yeah, you're basically trying to break off, and it's like 1776 again. You're trying to make your own, your own nation, and yet a bunch of people are trying to also conquer this area as well. So again, yeah, interesting to know that there was space travel before this. It's not the first time. So obviously Earth and Venus and Titan are also fighting, so that's quite interesting. There could be other factions here, maybe all the same. It depends on the story. I could see it going many different ways. And also explore a vast procedurally generated star system filled with planets, moons, asteroid fields, nebulae, build and upgrade shipyards, supply depots, refineries, and recon stations as you research new technologies like ship hulls, weapons, orbital facilities, colonialization options, and more. So not only is there political options, but there's also options to customize your own ship. And that's kind of what we're seeing here too, is a lot of the ships docking and probably being modified, loaded up, or whatnot before they can be sent out to combat, or possibly to carry more materials or whatnot. And I'm sure some of the ships that have weaponry on board, or have the ability to transport, or also have a little bit of storage capacity. Alright, so it looks like they're approving more mining operations. This ship might be going over to do some mining. I'm not exactly sure what kind of a ship it is just yet, but yeah, looks like we need to search the area there. Looks like some more footage showing us that we need to move and search areas for more supplies and whatnot. Alright, we're going to jump into the campaign then with the narrator. We'll add some music and such, see all this footage in its entirety, and then we'll take a look at the scenario creator. Let's go. I'm excited to see it.
Welcome to the first reveal of Titan Rising campaign gameplay. The Cold War between Mars and Titan has stretched decades now. You are the commander of the Titan Federation vessel Pinnacle, on your way home to Titan after a diplomatic mission to Ganymede. In need of resupply, you set a course for Anders Station, a port hidden within the billowing clouds of an asteroid cluster known as the Forge.
Okay, well that actually sets up some pretty significant storyline there that I wasn't expecting. We're on a diplomatic mission. Feels a little bit like Star Wars, but alright, the Pinnacle is here then, so that's what the importance of this ship is. And then we need to, dock the Pinnacle, as it says in the upper right corner, and warm up the engines. So this must be an earlier tutorial mission where it teaches you how to move a unit and maybe how to do upgrades, do some basic mining, look around, that type of thing. But that's good. That means some of these earlier missions are getting real polished. Interesting, a battle between Mars and Titan as well. So that means Mars and Titan are very significant in terms of their populations and their power in space. If Earth, wasn't really involved at all, it wasn't like some sort of joint operation or anything where they even mentioned it. Ah, there we go. Now we have some music this time around, boys. Cool. Wow, that sounds really great. I'm already getting some, I don't know, I'm feeling excited like I was for Homeworld, with, Deserts of Karak being one of their more recent games, and with Homeworld 3 coming out. That does a fantastic job, too, of getting me hyped and establishing a story without being wildly complex or, creating characters that you don't really care about. Hopefully this does the same. Damn, that's some good music. Woo! Alright, I'm definitely in the mood for this now. And the forge flickering off in the background. This is just a damn iconic scene, man. This is really good. We need more games like this, man. Oh, and I love the UI popping up, whenever you click on a vehicle or a ship in order to see what's around it and where it's going. Doing a little scan. Wow. It is amazing, too, how these ships seem to have a lot of weight to them. It doesn't look like it's just kicking on an engine and immediately moving at full speed or half speed and then getting up to full speed. It actually has to push and grind, and the engines take a little while to get her up to even a crawl, and that's just awesome. I love that. Alright, so the mission is to dock the Pinnacle at the station in the belt. Okay. So we stopped there for a moment. I wonder what that thing was exactly. Looks like a battery almost. Like a battleship turret. Damn, the radio chatter is so good. This music creates an just amazing atmosphere that was missing from the footage that we just saw a little bit ago. The same footage, but man, it shows music makes all the difference, doesn't it? Oh, those things must be turrets. At least I'm pretty certain. I love the shadows and I love the lighting in this game, and it almost, this game could also be done on a planet's surface too. Imagine this just being a ground or a surface where instead of floating asteroids, we're working around like mountains and cliff faces with dust blowing through. I could see this developer doing a fantastic job with clouds and water and dust storms and other things on a planet's surface. But In this case, let's not get too much stuff in there. We want this to be ready when it's ready. We want it to be nicely polished. I want it to come out now. You know what I mean? Like, this is a fantastic game. But on the other side, you know, we want it to take its time, and you know, this needs to come out now. But now meaning, you know, when it's ready. You know, it's like want, but also keep your distance and just keep an eye on it. But it looks great, you know? Like, it seems to be delivering on all the things that I want to see. All these little ships zipping around, all this detail of the, again, the just beautiful smoke and fog and whatever else blowing around. I know it's space, and that's not what those things are. But it is amazing how the dead of space feels so alive. You know, it feels like the atmosphere of a planet, and they've done a phenomenal job with that. All right, so time for the Pinnacle to dock. It looks like there's, looking at the UI, I'm assuming, yeah, the year is in the upper left corner, March 2245. The speed controls are in the upper right corner. Apparently we can go in reverse, or pause, or maybe slow motion. That's probably what that is. Even slower motion. Planets that we control on the right side. And this is a new solar system, too, that's procedurally generated every time you play. I think the campaign will maybe have some mission, like some solid missions that don't change, but then some missions that will, based on, you know, how they want the story to go. So maybe mission 2 will be, hey, go to this area and mine, but the mission will be slightly different. Maybe. I'm very excited to see all the different things that are like a possibility in this game. All the different things that could be here eventually. Now, this developer seems to do a fantastic job with handcrafting everything. The UI looks smooth and simple and clean. The environment looks the opposite, dirty, complex, and very alive. The ships seem very heavyweight and whatnot. But I'm really hoping, really hoping that a lot of the things are simple in the scenario editor too, that we're going to take a look at. And also, with people being able to make their own scenarios, I hope there's a lot of features there to be able to create our own missions with the backgrounds and ships available, like this very iconic openings where you get a ship in this sense and have to move it around and such. So they want us to move to the area. Move the Pinnacle to the search area. Okay. There must be cutscenes or something that's going on here, or text that they've been skipping to not let you in on the story. I'm sure there's some more to it than just this. I hope there's some sort of, if not like cutscenes showing like a map or something like that, maybe some beautifully drawn images or something along the lines of Deserts of Karak. Man, how could it do it like that, man? Okay, some alert going off in the upper right corner, so that's where all of our alerts will be. Things on the right to include stations, planets, and ships, which he's closing now. Wow, good timing on that. Ooh. And now there's a beautiful thunderstorm. Dude, that's so... I really appreciate how a lot of this, you know, it's space, so some of these things maybe shouldn't be happening the way they are, and I don't care. Like, this looks like more like a nebula. I don't know if this is possible in space or not. I'm no expert, but I don't care. I like to see it. It's amazing how it's space, but it also feels like a planet surface. I'm a sucker for that. That's great. Good set dressing, and it's got me hyped. So it looks like we're moving to an area. This is a warship, so we must be doing some sort of a patrol or a kind of a scan of the area, making sure that there's no enemies about. Ooh, now it's April 2245. It took this ship a month to just crawl over here. Yeah, right. Oh boy. That is just beautiful, man. It is just, it's incredible how important this type of set dressing is, and that a lot of games, you know, focus a lot on gameplay or on graphics, but this is something else. Gameplay is incredibly important, and I would say that, you know, gameplay and UI and multiplayer and all those things are way more important than graphics are. But this game has nice looking graphics, but there's something else to explain about this. You know, how the environment melds together. It's more about how it's presented with all these different mechanics and features working in the background to make a good looking picture. It's not just graphic good, me like. It's something else. Ooh. Oh, those were scanners that were deployed, some drones. That's amazing. Oh, wow, they're actually pinging like it's a submarine. That's so cool. I love that. So these are called the TFVs. So this is the Titan... I don't know, Titan Force 5? I have no idea. Titan something Venus? I don't know. But this is a rep. Oh, wait. What is that ship there? Anyway, I thought that was somebody doing some mining. Is that like a destroyed vessel? I love how it's kind of parked at an angle. Waiting for something to happen, but what could it be? Are we going to see some warfare here in a second? Oh. A ship came out of hyperspace or something, or a wormhole, or just appeared out of nowhere. And is going to other... Are those other ships? What are those? We have no objective in the upper right corner, but damn, does this look beautiful. Oh, it's destroying things. Ah, must be clearing a minefield. As they mentioned, we could have minefields from earlier. That could be it. Maybe this is a mine clear. The scanner detected those, and now they're being cleared by this larger ship. Object clarity. So it looks like there's just one left. Boy, it takes a while to clear a minefield then. But that's an interesting way to defend yourself. It's probably expensive to put those down, but absolutely devastating if they get destroyed by, or hit by the enemy. They could destroy a ship. That is so cool. I love that. Uh-oh. That looks like a enemy health bar. Oh, God. That is a big looking boy right there. Oh, boy. Wow, they make it sound like a whale? Hell yeah, I love that, man. This is totally not realistic in any way, with all those sounds and stuff like that. But that is that's badass. I don't want it to be real. I don't want it to be real. Wow, an unknown ship just plowed into an asteroid. Okay. Oh, that's not unknown anymore. Somebody has found the pinnacle. Sound the alarm, boys. Battle stations, get ready for some warfare. Taking some hits. Do we have broadside weapons? Come on, shoot back, bro. Shoot back. Okay, we're turning. Are we gonna escape? Shoot back, man. Do we have no turrets? Damn. Those deep hits, though. That deep bass whenever something gets struck. Man, that's incredible. So many games do a great job with their sound and with their lighting and such, and it's wonderful to see it in this one. I'm just excited. Falling Frontier is just going to be just a real delight to play through. Oh, listen to those rounds. What are those missiles? Are those like pulse rounds? I just love it. Oh, the Pinnacle's losing them. Get wrecked, son. Luring them in. Dude, I love how these battles are slow, too. They feel like actual dreadnoughts. Oh, come on. Come on. Don't do this to me. Well, anyway, coming to Steam and GOG Q2 of 2022. There you go. All right, let's take a look now at the scenario editor. We may have seen footage on this before, but I want to make sure everybody sees it and that there's not anything new that I may have missed. Oh, Titan Rising. Are these different areas, perhaps? They did mention Titan and Mars and the New World. Oh, Scenario Creator. Okay. So there's Titan Rising, Scenario Editor, and Skirmish. Ah, so these are the three functions on the main menu. Right, so there is a Skirmish mode, there's the main campaign, and of course the Scenario Creator. That looks fantastic, man. I love how everything has a wonderful transition to it. There's so much polish and care put to every screen, and every little thing just kind of has a little extra thought put into it, and that just means the dev cares. This is not a developer, this is not a publisher, this is just a game by a gamer. That's all you can say about that one. Somebody who really cares about games that way. Look at that. We can actually easily place planets. I think we've seen this before. Maybe perhaps this exact footage just without the earlier menu. Maybe not, but I love the shadows behind the planets. Dude, that is so damn cool. It's definitely more 2D, which I think is harder to pull off too because you're limiting yourself to, okay, so space you can move 3D, right? Right. Okay, now let's make it 2D. It's like, make a submarine game, but the submarine can't submerge or dive. And it's like, that's going to be interesting to make that interesting, isn't it? Atmospheric thickness and planetary rings, the color of the planet. This is great. You can make your very own solar system. That's so cool. And I hope we can put in all the dustiness of the other planet too. I'm so excited. I hope this game gets multiple updates and multiple. Hell, I'm already down to buy DLCs, but let's not talk about that. Hopefully, the campaign is just good enough to actually get us interested in a whole story, though, like we are with Homeworld and many other space-driven storylines. But this is definitely one I at least want to try out and just see the ships move around and destroy each other. It's just wonderfully polished, and it's not even out yet. Like, you know, we're almost half a year away from this one, so there's still even more work to be done. Oh, look at that! All the moons within the planet. That's so cool. Look at the detailing. Yeah, that's astonishing. Composition. Oh man, that is one rusty planet there. Surface complexity, detail height. So you can make it can look mountainous or like giant canyons and valleys, or look like it's been beaten to hell by other asteroid strikes and such. Biome complexities. So we can make it more like Earth, make it look like it's filled with water and lush vegetation or dead. Wow. Beautiful. Desert-like planets too. Oh, this is yet another moon. We can rename it if we want to. More composition, biomes. Oh, that's cool. So we can make one could be a desert planet, one could be a snow planet, one could be kind of just more like a regular moon. Well, I say planet, but you know what I mean. Planet meaning like it's more alive or it has life forms on it. But these are moons. That is really nice looking. Geez, the detail on that. And then, of course, we can jump to these planets and fly around them. So hopefully, each of these planets that have moons then have asteroid belts. Hopefully there's extra layers of just debris and massive asteroid fields and belts and things. So that way we can make lots and lots of money off mining all those rare minerals and other things that could be in the belts themselves. Looks like that's going to be where we primarily get most of our materials from. Although the question is then, how did the planets and how did the moons come into play here? Can we set up mining operations on these planets? However, I would say if we're arriving as colonists, it's probably maybe likely that we're going to do some mining above the planet to gather the materials to then build a settlement on the planet itself, rather than bringing all that stuff with us. Sure, I'm sure we have vehicles for recon and the ability to build outposts, but if we're going to build a decent, actual realistic settlement, and if we're going to be pursued by all these rival forces, then it's more than likely that we're going to have to build defenses, and it's going to have to be a military settlement first, a fort, if you will. But in this case, how it's done in 2250 or 2270 or something like that. I wonder if the starting year will also give us different types of technology, as of course we can research in this game, research taking time, and so time giving us more weapons and such, different types of hulls and better ships as time goes on. But also it's going to take the enemy time to get here too, so we have no idea how travel works in this game too. Is it, are we talking about wormholes? Are we talking about, wow, look at how that sun moves. I love it. Yeah, are we talking about wormholes? Are we talking about light speed travel, that type of thing? I wonder if you could put a planet so close to the sun that it actually changes. That'd be actually really interesting if how you place the, if you made the sun massive and super hot and placed a planet near it, if you had a planet that was full of water, if eventually it can die, like just boil and become just a crater of what it used to be. Love the detail on the lighting and stuff here. Man, this is incredible. Just looks really good. Looks like it'll be a lot of fun to actually make our own scenarios and big battles, small battles, story-driven battles. Hopefully members of the community really put in a lot of effort to make a gorgeous looking system. Wait, did I say it was the Denmark system? Did you see that? Yeah, so we can actually make a system, and we can name our planets, we can name our moons, we can probably name the star. Yep, we can. Main sequence star. So we can have a multiple star planet system, I suppose, and multiple planets that maybe orbit each other. Maybe at one planet and a smaller planet, which I don't know how that works technically. Would that be a moon? I have no idea. You guys can argue it out and tell me down below. And they call that the Forge too, the Nebula, the Forge. So we can place nebulas and name those. We can place moons, suns, and planets and name those. Damn. I have more questions than answers. typically with these types of first looks. But I'm very excited for our first look, or I was really rather just excited to see it here today for Falling Frontier, both at the Extendo Scenario Creator and also our first look at the campaign. I hope there's many more missions to see, and I'll see you all next time.